Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sailor Agenda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as Great Britain. It's September of 1970. We are at war with Germany, Italy, and Russia. We are hugely overmatched, and right now we're basically running away from the German fleet and hoping not to lose this battle too badly as we fight it out with carriers in the North Sea. Oh, finally. Sheldrake? Might want to get into port. What are you? Oh god, Gibraltar is up here. Well, actually, what's the fleet flag now? Okay. Yeah, Gibraltar. Make your way into Bergen immediately. You guys, don't go to Bergen. I would say you should cruise at 20 knots southwest-ish. I think they've basically lost the enemy. I don't. They're so far away from everything else. Yeah, probably make for Scapa Flow. But nobody's been trying to strike at them either. Sheldrake, are you dead or no? You're just patrolling. Okay, that's stupid of you, but whatever. Darkness is approaching. I mean, the Germans are going to pull their invasion of Norway off, but I'm hoping they've lost a lot of ships in the process. Oh, great. They're now targeting this division? Yeah. See, the problem is, honestly, if it had been a real enemy, they probably would have lost track of this division by now, but the AI being the AI, they know exactly where this division is. Where is Lavrock? Allegedly, she's right there. I don't see her. Maybe it's an AI commanded destroyer. Yeah. Okay. Maximum cap. No search. Just sprint south to Scapa Flow. It's a carrier, so it's not going to do anything remotely resembling a sprint, but I'm going to do our best here. Who is actually here? Just Empress of India and Argus, which are still two big modern carriers, unfortunately. We can't afford to lose them. And Argus just... Oh my god, what? Since when? Oh, Argus has been dying for 8 hours already, and I had no idea. But she took 4 bomb hits like 8 hours ago, and she is on the brink of sinking. Well, that is bad. I had no idea she'd been hit at all. I don't think she's gonna make it. It seems very unlikely that she's gonna make it. Although I noticed the airstrikes have suddenly and completely stopped. Which suggests to me the German carriers don't have night training. Which would be nice, except that I'm pretty much all out of aircraft, so I'm pretty sure a night airstrike by just this formation would be absolute suicide. Oh man, here comes a strike anyway. I don't think Argus is going to survive. I mean, I really hope she does, but I don't really see it. The only chance is if she doesn't get hit at all by the enemy again. But I'm not even sure she's going to reach Scapa Flow by daybreak. I don't know if it's better to stick close to her or try to draw them off south. I think I'm going to just run south because I need Empress of India to survive in any case. I might have to give up on Argus. What? Okay. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what's hitting them with the missile. One of our coastal patrol ships, maybe? Okay, well, something's getting hit by missiles. Chalk off a destroyer and maybe an aviation vessel or something. Oh. I don't even know where CL Pandora was, but I assume she's one of these stragglers. Yep. 3 bombs. 2,500-pound bombs. Amazingly, Argus is still technically afloat, but I would be amazed if she made it. Not least because I really am not sure she's going to make it to Scapa Flow by daylight. And if she doesn't, then she's definitely dead. If she can make it by daylight, she has a chance, because the enemy do seem to have pretty much entirely stopped airstrikes at night here. Empress of India, at least, will be safe in harbor by daybreak. Okay, I don't... Apparently their invasion fleet has reached the coast. I don't know what is hitting them with all these missiles now that it's reached the coast, but it took some damage, clearly. Into Scapa Flow, please. Come on. Into Scapa Flow. What is whacking them with all these missiles? This is crazy. Is it a land-based airstrikes? I don't know, but it seems to be hurting. Okay, they made it. Why? Who set Viking as the new force flag when Argus exists? It's 2 a.m. It'll be daylight in maybe 4 hours. It's gonna be close. Although it looks like Argus is not going for the approach that will actually get her into Scapa Flow so much as she's just ramming herself into these islands, so that might cost her any chance of winning the race. What is just continuously hitting the enemy with missiles? I don't have shore batteries with missiles or anything, to the best of my knowledge. I certainly didn't build any, so... Alas. I really hoped she might make it, but... But to be fair, she wouldn't have made it before time elapsed anyway. Then I'm pretty sure she would have been declared sunk if she wasn't in port when time elapsed. Viking's gonna make it, though. Yeah, I'm sure there are. They've definitely been able to land. We've had to concede the field. We've lost a fleet carrier. If we didn't sink a carrier, which there's every chance we didn't, then we've pretty clearly just lost. Maybe I shouldn't have even tried to strike at their fleet carriers, but I felt like I kind of had to. But we lost a horrific number of aircraft trying. I mean, unfortunately, all of their ships these days are brimming with SAMs and such, and we are very much not in our fleet, so... Hey, do I have any ships still in my order of battle? Don't think so. It's just coastal batteries, various places. I think they did land here. Yeah, they're bombarding this battery. And suffering. I mean, they've taken significant damage just sitting here overnight. I don't know what's been hitting them with missiles, but it has done some big... Is it Oxley? If Oxley has just been battering them with missiles all day, that would be hilarious. I don't think so. It's got to be land-based aircraft or something. Okay, you can end any time now, battle. I don't have any ships. Okay, that's nice. Holy cow, we did not even come close to getting a fleet carrier. And we did suffer horrific aerial losses. Oh, this has been bad then, yeah. Gods, all we sank was 8 destroyers, 2 light cruisers. We barely scratched any of their capital ships. Pretty much all of my carriers limped out of there. Significantly damaged, and one of them was lost outright. I lost a destroyer, a light cruiser, a heavy cruiser, and a carrier. Oh, guys, this is just painful. I mean, I knew this was a losing war. This is a losing war. There is no chance of winning this war just by fighting it out. There really isn't. Z-288 is hit by a bomb. Actually, a near-miss 2,500-pound bomb from Eagle. Then sinks 2 hours later from flooding. Buckled a lot of hull plating there, apparently. Z-336, another 1,200-tonner, hit by a missile from a Defiant off Rodney. Sinks 40 minutes later. Sheldrake, one of ours, hit by 5 2,500-pound bombs from HE-185s off Moltke. T-57, a Russian 2,900-tonner, hit by 2 2,500-pound bombs from Defiance off Rodney. Big destroyer, not modern, carries a lot of guns, no missiles. Transport, and we did take out a fair few of the transports, but not enough to, like... Actually, the 4-inch battery kind of fucked up the transports in the end. At least that one. Red Key, hit by 1 missile from Z-328, hilariously enough, and sank a couple of hours later due to friendly fire. Z-317, a big modern 3,800-tonner, hit by 2 missiles from Defiance off Victorious. Z-306, another big 3,800-tonner, hit by 3 missiles from Defiance off of Eagle. And then later one from Empress of India. Z-304, hit by 3 missiles from Defiance off of Victorious and Eagle. Z-322, another big 3,800-tonner, hit by 2 missiles from Defiance off Argus and Empress of India. Aachen, badly damaged but alive. Lutzow, scratched by 2 2,500-pound bombs, but one of them was dud and not in any serious danger. Derflinger, more substantially hit. 2 2,500-pound bombs and a missile from a Defiant off Argus, but also intact. Rodney was hit by 5 bombs and a missile. Survives, but not good. Caledonia hit by 2 bombs and a missile. We sank the 8,100-ton modern light cruiser Freiburg with diving missile, 2 bombs from Empress of India, all. We lost HMS Devonshire to 3 2,500-pound bombs from HE-185s off Volsleben and Boppard. We sank the 12,000-tonner Berlin with 3 diving missiles off of Argus, Gibraltar, and Rodney. Benbow took 3 missile hits, survived, but badly hit. We lost Pandora to 3 2,500-pound bombs from HE-185s off Moltke. Gibraltar was hit by 2 2,500-pound bombs from HE-185s off Moltke. And Argus was hit by 10 bombs. First 4,000-pound bombs that actually hit from TO-160s off Lutzow in the morning. And then in the afternoon, 3 2,500-pound bombs from HE-185s off Boppard. Then in the late afternoon, another 2 2,500-pound bombs from HE-185s off Moltke and Neuwied. And she finally sank at 3 a.m. If we hadn't lost her, it would have been a good deal better. Would have been a good deal better. She's basically the thing that swings it against us instead of for us. That's kind of all there is to it, actually, yeah. We sank more support ships than we lost, but the loss of a fleet carrier and all the damage to our others is far too much. We definitely lost the battle. Why is this not... Okay. Yeah, sure, Cashier Captain Field. Okay, I'm not that worried about that. Okay. Well, we lost the war. That's the first war we've lost all campaign. We hand over Gibraltar to Russia as war reparations, and we cede Newfoundland, Angola, and Kwangchuan. Honestly, bad. Not as bad as you might fear. I genuinely think we were pretty much screwed there. And we still are. Britain's situation in October 1970 is now basically hopeless. If we're being honest. It's, we have... Well, I mean, it's going to take 10 years, at least. Economy-wise, Britain's base resources are still significantly higher than... Why is this not the... Yeah. Still significantly higher than Germany's, even after what we just lost in the war. Still significantly higher than Russia's, for sure. Although Russia seems to have, like, merged into France's for some reason. Recovery is totally possible, but it will take 10 to 20 years for Britain at this point. We still finish with by far the biggest empire in the world. The territories we lost are not at all critical, although Germany taking Newfoundland is just weird. I don't know why they would take that instead of, well, they probably didn't have enough points to take Norway, but they would have been better off with Iceland or something. I don't know what the point of Newfoundland is. We lose Angola and we lose Kwangchuan, which is okay. We still have Hong Kong. I'm really not worried about Angola or Kwangchuan. Newfoundland's a bit of a slap in the face. Also, losing HMS Gibraltar is a bit of a slap in the face, but we're building another one, and long term, any ship loss is replaceable. If I was inclined to play another 20 years, I feel pretty confident we could probably turn it around and crush all of them still. But this final war was basically just the ultimate product of the incredible imperial overstretch that we've been suffering for a while now, and the fact that my budget was basically non-existent for the 10 years leading up to the war. Under the circumstances, I think we did about as well as could be expected. Let's also bear in mind we had a hopelessly small fleet of destroyers to escort our ships compared to all the others. As in 60 to almost 300. Overall, it's been a successful campaign. My prestige has ended up being absolutely miserable, but we have by far the largest empire in the world, still. We never did beat up on Japan, but we have a lot of territory gained in Southeast and Northeast Asia. I mean, we possess a good part of Indonesia and French Indochina. We've pretty much conquered most of Africa, despite just losing Angola. We held the United States in check successfully throughout the game. We didn't lose any of Canada until Newfoundland at the very end here. And we pretty much dominate the Caribbean, and we still have the Panama Canal. The only reason Britain isn't in a great long-term position is because we're still badly overstretched compared to our base resources. But I mean, let's just game should technically end. I don't know if it's gonna actually end when I hit end turn or not. I think we kind of missed the official cutoff because of because we were at war. Let me see what it does. It does not end until the end of the year of 1970. Maybe I have to wait 2 more months. I don't remember now. Fighters still doing most of the work. The problem is they shouldn't be. I mean, to some extent, yes, but there we go. Okay, yeah, it's the end of 1970. Well, no, we're gonna end the game now. I feel comfortable with what we've achieved overall. It's a shame about this last war, but I feel comfortable with what we've achieved overall. Let's see. Our first war was against France. We won, although apparently there were no major battles, and it looks like it was a very short war. I don't. This stuff was more than 6 months or something ago now. I do not remember it that well. We beat up Russia once. I think that's when we took Sakhalin, probably. We fought Italy and Russia together, and apparently fought them to a draw, basically. Diplomatically, we did not do well in this game. We pretty much only ever allied with Austria-Hungary, and that didn't... They pretty much only ever just cancelled out Italy for us. They didn't even do that well. We fought Germany for the first time in 1903-04, and won, although apparently we lost one. Then we fought Germany and the USA put together in 1909-11, and we won, although that was a bloody and desperate kind of war, but we did win. And then we beat up Germany again in 1915 in 3 quick battles. And then we were at peace for quite a... Oh, no, wait, there's a war in here that I can't entirely read. Who did we fight in this battle? Or this war? It looks like we beat up on them very badly, but it also apparently took like less than a year, so I can't entirely tell. It might have been France or somebody. Possibly. No, I can't tell on any of the charts who that would have been. Anybody go way down in relative tonnage? Not really. Anyway, I don't know what that war was about. We were at peace for a good while then, and then we got into a really blowout war with the US, which we did just about win, although it was a pretty epic war. Pretty much the peak of the campaign in terms of wars, probably. Ever since then, we've been basically scrambling to hold on to our territory with an increasingly pathetic fleet compared to what we need to defend. We beat France in the late 30s. We beat Italy in a very short war in the mid-40s. We beat up on Germany again in the late 40s. We more or less fought the USA and France to a draw in the late 50s, which realistically what happened is we pounded hard on France and then managed to bail before the US really got going. Technically speaking, in the early 60s, just 10 years ago, we did beat Germany pretty badly in another war, only to whatchamacallit. We beat Germany pretty badly in another war and got out before Japan could get in on us. It all went wrong basically only in the last 10 years, where, well, the budget issues of the last 10 years have been horrifying for us. We'll probably see this on the fleet tonnage, how we were not good at this point, and then we went from not good in 1960 to pathetic by 1970 when we finally lost a war to, well, it's actually Russia, Italy, and Germany all put together. Let's see here. So yeah, we started out with the largest fleet tonnage. We maintained that for the first 30 years. Little... We didn't do that much to Russia here, or to France here. Pre-Dreadnought wars are not that decisive. I don't know that we even took much of a chunk out of Italy here, or out of Russia. Look like it. Germany here. What color is Germany? Yellow. And we definitely did take a chunk out of Germany there. Our fleet was quite a bit bigger than the USA's when we fought this first war with them, but that's, yeah, still very early in the game. And we didn't take that big a chunk out of them, but we slowed them down a little. We did take a big chunk out of Germany's fleet, as you can see. And then just when they had rebuilt, we took a very big chunk out of them again. Astonishing how much Germany came back in this campaign. And then the US finally was catching up to us about 1920, and then we got that treaty which pretty much evened it out. And that's the only thing that let us be in a position to take them on in 1930. And you'll note, even though we won this war, and I am pretty confident we inflicted a lot of losses on them, although we took a lot too, they had more fleet tonnage by the end of the war. And in the following, like, 2 to 3 years, they accelerated to a massively superior tonnage, and we never really fully recovered. Well, okay, technically at the end of that war, Germany had the most tonnage in the world, not either us or the US. But we were also behind France and Japan, and we never got back ahead of them. We did just about catch up to France at that one war where we beat up on France a little. But also Italy was right behind us by then. In the end, we did, by the mid-40s, climb back up to 4th behind Japan and Germany, and just absolutely ridiculously behind the US. And we didn't take that much of a chunk out of Italy. In the late 40s, despite still only being 4th, we literally halved Germany's fleet. Took some substantial losses of our own, but we halved Germany's fleet, and well, we came out of it what, though? Not 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th, but at least we were stronger than Germany. And we had just about rebuilt. In fact, by the mid-50s, we were 3rd, just barely ahead of Germany. Albeit, the US and Japan were both basically breaking the chart by then or shortly after then. We literally basically annihilated the French fleet. Didn't do anything of note to the US, but we annihilated the French fleet. Not that many losses on our part. But then, by the time we got into this war with Germany, we were running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th, which is pretty bad in itself. We were behind Italy, and Russia. But we then took a big chunk out of the Germans. The problem is, yeah, here. After that war, not only were we not able to increase the size of the fleet in any meaningful way, it actually had to go substantially down in the mid-decade in like a war-losing kind of way due just to budget cuts. And that made us the smallest fleet in the world. We had just about caught up to France coming into this war. And honestly, I still took big chunks out of the Russian and Italian fleets, probably about as big as what we lost. But we couldn't stop the Germans at that point. Economy-wise, yeah, we started out great. I mean, I'm not going to go over every war's results in detail here. It's not that obvious, mostly, anyway. I mean, as expected, the US surpassed us about 1920. And then, I mean, we were still second in the world right through 1950, but everybody was getting closer. Like, we had a significant gap, obviously, at the start, and then that gap got smaller and smaller. Nonetheless, in 1970, right now, even post-war, we still have the third most base resources in the world. I do not, for the life of me, understand how the budget situation got so bad in the last decade. I think it has to do with me not with me trying for naval disarmament treaties twice because I wanted to see what a post-war era, like Cold War era naval disarmament treaty would look like. And that just tanked my prestige and my budget really badly, which it shouldn't cut my budget unless the AI actually agrees to it, by the way. But, well, and there were other things. Parliament got real mad at me for, well, they repeatedly cut my budget mid-turn and then got mad at me about it. But it went very wrong there, yeah. Budget-wise, long-term we could still recover, I think, but we would have to take our enemies on one at a bloody fucking time instead of three at once. That's been also the problem of the last few decades. And now, overall, ships lost-wise, as you can see, that doesn't sort by that, but yeah, it's been pretty crushing in our favor, nonetheless. Now I lost a huge, ludicrous number of transports, as you'd expect, but overall, surface capital ship-wise, I've lost a total of 1 pre-dreadnought, 3 dreadnoughts, and 6 battle cruisers, which is 10. For that, I sank 30 German capital ships, 16 French. Well, I didn't actually sink all of these. Well, the only AI powers that lost ships in wars with each other were, I think, Italy and Austria-Hungary. I'm pretty sure the 8 American and the 12 Russian and the 16 French and the 30 German capital ships are all my doing. Maybe I'm wrong. There was like a Japan-Russia war at some point, maybe. Russia lost some then. It's hard to be sure, but we definitely had a favorable kill ratio for pretty much everything. We lost 5 carriers total. We sank for that 10 German carriers, 4 French fleet, and 5 light, 2 Russian light. I think the Italian and Austro-Hungarian ones, they cost each other. So our kill ratio is not as favorable for carriers, but it is actually probably still almost 4-1, which is pretty good. I think our light cruiser ratio might be the least favorable, but that's partially because we have a lot of colonial cruisers that got picked off really easily. And that was the trouble with Britain from the very start, of course. Actually, our destroyer ratio might be the worst. Yeah, it might be, but destroyers are expendable. Anyway, bit of a prestige difference compared to our USA campaign. They're still naming a battlecruiser after me, though, so not bad. Wait, the Navy's building a new battlecruiser to name after me? That's crazed of them. It's 1970, guys. Well, anyway, that overall was a good campaign. It kind of ended in a bit of a whimper, but a very good campaign overall. Lots of fun naval action as Great Britain. And that is going to do it for this Rule the Waves campaign. I do hope that you all enjoyed. And Rule the Waves will return on this channel, but not for a little while. Probably, by a little while, I mean probably 6 months. Probably not until the, what's it called? Hold on. The Expanded Battles DLC releases. And then we will start a new campaign. We might do some free scenarios as well at that time. In the meantime, the channel will keep going. I have some ideas for things we're going to play. Next, I think, is going to be war game, Red Dragon. I don't. That's a game I've had for a very long time, and I've never actually beaten the campaigns of. I want to finish them up and then move on to Warno, so it's gonna be that. It's gonna be. I might take a look at this Sea Power game that's released recently. Probably not till spring when they're supposed to have a dynamic campaign out, but I might. And I've got a few other ideas, but we'll see how it plays out. Next up is going to be, I think, Wargame Red Dragon. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys for that. It's not got the best naval combat, but it's a decent little RTS, and it'll pass some time here. In the meantime, thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to quit rambling on. This is Sea Lord Janda signing off.